Rafael Stots has the belt, bantamweight belt. Danny Sabatello is his challenger, and they're both in studio. And I'm just going to warn you right now behind the glass, make sure you have that dump button ready to go because these guys let it rip. And if you're watching or listening, just as if you're trying for a calm morning here, bringing the kids to school, getting into your routine, this might not be the segment for you because these two guys openly dislike one another in a big time way. So, Danny and Ralph, good to have you guys here in studio.
Yep, thanks for having me on. And to check that, it's not that I dislike him. I hate this guy, and I can't wait to punish him December 9th.
You hate him?
Hate him. Absolutely hate. There is not anybody on planet Earth right now that I want to beat the crap out of more than this guy right now.
He says that, but he couldn't be the nicest, the most cuddly person inside the ring. So,
5 minutes ago in the lobby, what happened?
You say 5 minutes, I pushed you and you did nothing. That's what happened 5 minutes ago.
I pushed you first, buddy.
No, I walked up on you, and then you put your arm out, and I pushed you like 10 feet back. That's
so what do you
happened.
mean I'm the
That's
nicest guy in the world? What do you mean I'm the nicest guy in the world?
You're the nicest guy in the world because you don't throw any punches during fights.
Oh, okay.
You cuddle, and you die for legs, and that's your whole game. So it's great for me, though, because I'm very good everywhere. I'm a very good martial artist. So I'll be the one inflicting a lot of damage. So if you want to see a lot of cuddling, you watch his old fights. If you want to see good old-fashioned martial arts, watch my fights.
So we got word when you guys were on your way up in the elevator that was already pretty frosty. So there was an incident in the hallway. So what happened down there?
So I was just trying to check him. You know what I mean? Because he's not very intimidating. He has no threat. He says, "Oh man, I'll slap you." He says all these things. So I walked up on him and I was like, "Oh, let me just see how tall you are." And he was like, "Bro, don't touch me, bro. Don't get close to me, bro." And then he put his arm out, and then I pushed him back. I'll let him recall his tale of the event.
Yeah, how'd it go, Dan?
I mean, how it actually went was he was staring down, looking at his phone like a little girl, and I called him a midget. So then he started walking up to me to see how tall I was because I look like a giant compared to him. And I'm not going to let him get close to me because, I don't know, instincts take over. I might hit him in the face. I might head kick him. I don't know. So I just pushed him back. He flew back about 10 feet. And then it started getting broken up. But, yeah, I mean, that's just a glimpse. If this guy gets close to me, I don't know what's going to happen.
So Danny, you said that this fight is about you because people hate you.
Yeah.
That when people talk about this fight is because they hate you. Why do you think that they hate you?
Well, I'm a superstar. I'm cocky. I'm confident. I say that I'm going to do something. I go out there and do it. We got a lot of miserable people out there. We're living in a social media world right now where everybody is trying to put others down. They see that I'm on the rise right now. I'm accomplishing my goals. I'm very good at fighting. I'm very good at talking. I'm very good looking. And that's things that people just dislike. You know, I'm a superstar in the sport right now. I just got into Bellator a few months ago, and now I'm one of the biggest names in the promotion. So this fight right now, we're doing all this segments with promotion and everything, flying us out to New York City strictly because of me, strictly because Danny the Italian Gangster is fighting December 9th at the Mohegan Sun. And Rafael Stots just happens to be my opponent, you know. People don't really care too much about Rafael. He's been in Bellator for a while. People don't really know who he is. Everybody knows who I am. You either love me or you hate me, but both types of people are tuning in. And that's just what's going to happen December 9th. Everyone's going to tune in. They're either going to boo me or cheer loud for me. But again, this is a Danny Sabatello fight. This is not a Rafael Stots fight.
What do you think?
The fact of the matter is people love me, you know what I mean? And people do hate him, but people love me, you know? And I think that gets under his skin, you know? I say two things and people love it. And he says, like, everyone cares about him. I think I have more following than him on every single platform there is in the world. So it's like people just love me, and it's just because, you know, how he carries himself, you know what I mean? And I'm lucky that he carries himself the way he is. People are just going to love me more. And it's a lot of people looking forward to me. And MMA experts know that what's going to happen during the fight. So, like, all this talking, I say it all the time. He's a used car salesman, okay? So he sells fights really well, okay? I said that. He sells fights really well, but he's a car salesman. Once we get to the fight, all that's out the window. That's not what happens in real life. That's not what happens in the fight. So,
well, that's the thing is that you agree he's good for marketing, but you think that he's a trash fider. You think his foundation is terrible. You think his fundamentals are terrible.
Definitely, his fundamentals are terrible. He's one-dimensional, you know, and you're not gonna beat me being one-dimensional. I fought a lot of one-dimensional fighters, and I've won 18 of those fights.
So that's the thing. I mean, clearly you've got a look and clearly you've got a brand, but you got to win. And so what happens if you don't beat them coming up in December?
Yeah, the fact of the matter is I talk all this trash, but the reason it sticks with people is because I back it up. I got a call from Bellator on 5 days' notice to fight Brett Johns, who at the time was going to be number 10 in the UFC, came over to Bellator, and people saw that I just straight dominated him. After that, I fought a guy, Jarnell Lugo, to get in this World Grand Prix tournament, and I dominated him. This last fight I had a couple months ago was against an absolute legend in the sport, Leandro Higo, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the game right now. Dominated him 5 straight rounds. So I think people understand that I'm talking trash, but they also see how high-level MMA fighter I am, and I think that's why it sticks. That's why people love me. That's why people hate me. You go on all the message boards and all the social media. It's all about Danny Sabatello either winning and killing it his next fight or Danny Sabatello getting knocked the fuck out, because that's what people want to see. It's not about what Rafian's going to do. It's, again, going to be about either me winning or losing. This guy next to me, this little bitch right here next to me, this fight is not about him. No one even knows he's fighting. It's all about what's Danny Sabatello going to do. When I go out there December 9th, I bet that crowd is going to be booing me. But that's not because of Rafian. That's just because people hate me. Nobody knows Rafian.
I beg to differ. Because I'm the
maybe
champ.
Don't cheer for me.
I'm the champ. I beat your big bro who wrestled at the same college as you. I knocked him the fuck out.
Who?
And that's exactly your big bro, Juan Archuleta. Did I not? Ain't that your big bro? Didn't he wrestle at the same school you wrestled at, Purdue?
Bro. I don't know if I've ever met
him. Did he not wrestle at the same school you wrestled at?
Yeah, he wrestled at Purdue.
Yeah, and I beat the crap out of him, and I'm going to beat the crap out of you because I'm the champ. So everybody coming to see me because I'm the champ, and you not. Why you not the champ? Because I'm the champ.
Okay, Rafian's last fight, he was getting straight dog walked for 2 straight rounds. He was losing to Juan Archuleta, who was just killing him. And this guy, Rafian, lands a very lucky head kick. I mean, the luckiest head kick probably in the game, the history of the sport. So I don't know how he's going to talk all this trash about Juan when he was losing. You look at my quarterfinal match, and I was straight dominating the guys. We're on 2 different wavelengths right now.
2 different wavelengths, exactly, because the second round of that fight, you got dominated, and you curled up like a little baby. You had nothing to say. You had nothing to argue in there. You were just like, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt Leandro. He going to do whatever he wanted with you. What you think I'm going to do when I get to your back? I'm going to demolish you, bro.
You think you'll get to my back? You think you'll be able to take me down?
I think I'll get whoever I want to get with you.
Do you think you'll be able to take me down?
Because you're not very good. 8 of your 12 opponents, or how many opponents you got? 8 of them have losing records, bro.
This guy
and none of the wins you have, nobody has wrestling experience. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the numbers,
I don't know how you know that, because I don't even know that. You got to stop stalking me, bro.
I'm a student of the game. You are not.
No, you're a stalker.
I'm a student of the game. I'm a professional. You are not.
I couldn't tell you any of his opponents.
And that's
I don't
why
really
I'm the
watch too much
champ
film
and
on
you
this
are
guy.
not.
Okay, yeah. When I take the belt for you December 9th and I
like
fucking
that,
knock
y'all.
you out, it's going to be a little bit of a different story, buddy.
Who you knocked out? 0-7 guy? Who you knocked out before?
You out.
Exactly.
Okay, so how hard is it to make sure that emotions don't overwhelm the fundamentals here? Because you can't stand this guy, obviously. You despise this guy. You don't respect this guy. But you got to go out there. You got to actually do the job. So how do you make sure you're not in over your skis just emotionally wanting to pound him into submission?
Well, everybody's a little bit of a different fighter. I'm just an emotional guy as it is, inside the cage and outside the cage. I'm a very passionate and motivated person. I do actually fight with a little bit of emotion. I got one of the best gas tanks in MMA, so I think I like to say I control my emotions when I go in there, but I don't know what's going to happen when I go in there. You know what? Maybe I just go full out first round and just sell out for the knockout. I don't really know. We're going to have to tune in and watch, but I don't really get too emotional before the fight. I don't really get too emotional after the fight. I think I just keep it on an even keel where I'm just always emotional. Right now, I got adrenaline going right through my skin right now. I could punch this guy's lights out right now.
But he's not.
I don't really turn it off. I don't turn the emotion off, the motivation off, the passionate off. I'm always emotional. But everybody's different.
That's the thing, Rafian, is that, you might hate him with a burning passion, but can you let that enter your mind when you actually get in the octagon?
I don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? I understand him, and I'm not like threatened by him because I feel like I know. I'm a very analytical fighter. Okay, so I look at numbers, I study opponents.
Dork.
I also perform, analytically. So it's like, to me, this is just a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of the job. it's just going to be super gratifying to go in there and shut this guy's mouth, you know? And that's something I've been doing on the, like since I've been a kid, you know, shutting people's mouths. So this is just going to be an extra, like, cherry on top for me.
So in some ways, you know, you see some fighters and they do the media and they bicker back and forth and you go, it kind of feels forced. From everything I've seen from you guys and now being with you guys, this does not feel forced. It feels like there's a truly frosty relationship. So how much of this is the show and how much of this is a true disdain?
I've been disdaining this guy pretty much since he got to Bellator. Just because he talks brass, he talks a lot. He says he backs it up, but he hasn't had a chance to back it up against anybody real.
But ego's that's a pretty good challenge.
Ego is a pretty good challenge, but you got to understand, his one dimensional is wrestling. And if you look at Ego, I mean, I looked at everybody in the tournament. I'm the reason the tournament is starting, so he should be sending me a thank you card is what he should be doing. You want to get on your knees and give me a thank you today, or?
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so I've looked at all these guys. His biggest weakness when I looked at him was wrestling. That's his biggest strength. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for me, I got all the O's and I got all my I's crossed. I know how to win this fight. So he thinks I'm just like a clown. I mean, everybody loves my personality and stuff, but I'm a very smart fighter in there, and that's why I'm at where I'm at today.
Yeah, I mean, I hate every opponent I go in there with.
So this is the same that you treat Rafael with as everybody else?
This one is a little bit different. I mean, I truly do hate everybody I go in the cage with. I feel like I have to. You know, there's a lot of martial artists that treat this as a sport. I don't treat this as a sport. I treat this as a street fight. I have to go in there hating this guy. I have to hate his guts. I need to go to bed every night picturing bashing my fist through his face. That's just how I have to get up for my fights. I mean, if I don't hate the guy, then why am I fighting him? I don't want to fight a buddy of mine. I don't want to fight a friend. So I always do hate the guy. But this one specifically, with him being the champ and him talking all this trash against me, it gets me even a little bit more pissed off. So that's why I think I'm going to have an even better performance. You know, I'm a guy that shines brighter under the lights. You know, you put more pressure on me, you put more adversity under me, you give me being an underdog, then I perform even better. But the problem is the jig is up. Danny Sabatello is here in MMA. I don't know how much of an underdog I'm going to be. I've always
but
been
you know
one
you're
throughout
gonna
my...
be an underdog,
Shut up, bitch, I'm talking.
You know you're going to be
I've
an
always
underdog.
been an underdog my entire career. I hope I'm an underdog this fight so I can make somebody some money. You know, I hope I'm plus maybe 150-ish range so we can all party and get some vodka after and celebrate knocking this guy's lights out. But I don't know. You know, obviously December 9th
you know
is
you're
going to be
be
a
an
very
underdog
special
because you're fighting the champ. And the reason you get
Stop
mad is because you
interrupting
have
me.
no
Are you that
skill.
nervous? Are you that nervous that you got to keep interrupting me?
Why would I be nervous? I'm not
you keep
intimidated by
interrupting
you.
me,
That's
buddy.
why I interrupt you, because you're insignificant.
Yeah, so again, that's another reason why I hate this
Sorry,
guy.
did I use a big
He's
word
just
for you? I know
ignorant.
you only use profanity. So
Yeah, dude, for sure.
So, Danny, you were a wrestler at Purdue, and you say you envision punching your fist through the face of your opponent. You can't do that in collegiate wrestling. So was it difficult for you to wrestle at Purdue in the Big Ten and not be able to be really violent and have to be more tactical?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously you can't choke anybody in wrestling. You can't punch, kick, elbow, knee. But obviously I've given up some penalty points in my day. Almost got thrown out of matches. But you know what? In Big Ten wrestling, Division I college wrestling rooms, there's fights all the time. You'll see guys walking out of the room with a black eye because somebody hit somebody in the face. You kind of get that aggression out in practice so it doesn't happen in a match. A lot goes on behind the scenes in Division I wrestling, something that this guy doesn't know about. I think he wrestled Division II or JUCO or Division III. I'm not really too sure. I don't stalk him like he stalks me. But, yeah, obviously it's a little difficult when you got your adrenaline flowing and you just want to elbow the guy in the face. The good thing is right now I'm in a profession where I can do that. I can do pretty much whatever I want aside from biting the guy or doing any weird things. So I'm very much looking forward to putting my elbow through his skull. But again, I've been saying for this fight, I'm not only going to put his lights out, but I want to torture him first. I want to see blood all over that canvas. I want to get him dog-tired. I want him to think that I'm about to put him out of there and get him out of there and save him. But I'm going to keep the fight going, get him even more tired, get him even more bloody, hopefully spew some blood on the people sitting in the front row, make it really dirty, and then I'll get him out of there.
Rafael Stots is undefeated in Bellator, and it would not be good if your first loss came to him.
Oh no, it wouldn't be good.
I mean, how would that fit? That would be devastating.
Yeah, that would be devastating. That's what happened. And to his point, you know, me wrestling Division II, I have championship experience. He has not won a single national championship in his life. I've won 2. And I've been wrestling I started wrestling way later than he started wrestling. Okay, so
That got under your skin,
when
didn't it?
championship, can you shut up? Thank you. And championship experience is very important. I have championship experience fighting. He has none. And that's the reason why I'm just so much better than him, man.
Okay. Rafion Stots and Danny Sabatello are going to be going at it coming up in December at Mohegan Sun. And I don't know how you guys are going to wait 3 months to beat the crap out of one another.
I'll slap him again before this is over.
Yeah, I'm thinking about flying to Milwaukee, showing up on his doorstep, and just whipping the shit out of him.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to end
Wish.
on that note, because we've run through all of our dump buttons. We cannot do this any longer. Once again, it is coming up here in December, on December the 9th, Bellator 289, Stots and Sabatello. Make sure you keep your eyes and ears out for that in a couple of months. Buy your tickets. Go see this fight. Watch it. It's going to be pretty amazing.